is the custom, to realize that you are turning a new leaf in your life. That means you are going to begin living a new kind of life. The old life is now over, so you can consciously live your life. The main teaching of the Buddha is to live consciously instead of living unconsciously. Normally, most people begin to live unconsciously. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the goal in life. And some of these students, if you ask, what are you going to be? They say, I don't know. We should also know the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? When we are born into this world, we don't know why we are born. We don't know how we were born. We know nothing about the world. It is later, gradually, that the parents might give some ideas about life, or when you go to school, the teachers might give some idea, and if the teachers also don't give you anything, then your friends that you live with or play with will be giving you ideas, or you might think on your own and get some ideas. Now that is really unconscious living. You are not living consciously. So the important thing is to begin to search for the meaning of life. Now, as children, at the early stages of childhood, we don't even think, because our thinking faculty has not developed properly. Children are mostly living unconsciously and emotionally. We are dominated by emotions. It is only as you begin to grow up, gradually the thinking faculty begins to develop, and you begin to think and reason out about things. And if you are going to school, you begin to learn certain things. When you study history or geography or science, you begin to learn many things about life. And as you begin to learn, then you begin to think along those lines. But still, we don't know really the meaning of life. The important thing to learn is that we are organisms. Now it is important to understand what we mean by organism. An organism is like a machine that is working. If you switch it on, it begins to work. If you switch it off, it stops working. But here we are also machines, but from the time we are born, we have been switched on. And the switch will be off only when we die. So everyone is born and gradually we begin to grow old, fall sick and die. That is what life is all about. Life is a process that begins at birth and ends at death. And normally people, while they are living, they begin to produce other beings through what is called reproduction. And those beings also, they are born and then they grow old and die. Someone wrote a book where he begins to say that we are all tubes. We are tubes, and these tubes have two holes, and one hole we begin to put things inside, and that is how we begin to grow. And then through the other tube we throw out things. And this is what a tube is. So we are all tubes like that. And while we are living in this way, we also begin to destroy other tubes. Like people who eat other people's flesh or other animals' flesh, or maybe eating the plants. Plants are also living organisms. And that is how we keep on living. So what is the purpose of this life like that going on? And we are going on without much of a purpose. It was Charles Darwin who began to see this and call this the struggle for existence. We are struggling to exist all the time. But however much we struggle, every individual that is born is going to die. So what is the use of this struggle to exist? There is no real purpose, but we keep on existing, or at least trying to exist. We are not really existing even. And so, the process of evolution took place where these animals and plants began to evolve, and ultimately the human being was formed. And it is this human being who has a special ability which other beings don't have. And that ability is the ability to think and reason out. And it is this thinking and reasoning part of the mind that is aware of the world around us and is also aware of a self inside. But it is this awareness of a self that brings about all the problems of life. We become selfish, we become self-centered, we want to satisfy ourselves, and we want to